Hello, I'm Reverend Stargazer from the International Metaphysical Ministry working here on the Mid-North Coast. So today I will be doing a quick 10-minute reading for the month of April for people who have a life path number of 1. So the way that you work out your life path number is you add each individual digit in your birthday. So example, 2 plus 6 plus 8 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4, and that will give you a string of numbers, and then you add those numbers together and it will either reduce down, you keep reducing down till you get either 1 to 9, 11, 22 or 33. So rather than using star signs for these readings, I'll be using your life path number. So this reading is for those that have a life path number of 1. Now looking at April, which is the 4th month, it's a month for really being grounded. It's a business number. It's also a legal number. So it's very important to look at your month ahead and any agreements that you may have coming up, any contractual agreements, and make sure that you do all the research that you need to do to be able to make sure that you get things on a good footing and on good even ground. So if we add the 1 to the 4 to the 20 to the 24, we get 1, 4 and 8. So that tells me that there's a new beginning, new contractual agreements to do with business. The 8 is to do with business, wealth, property, expansion, power. So you're stepping into a position where you're owning your power, and you're stepping into a position where you will be growing financially, and you're also stepping into a position where you will be very, very focused on dotting your I's and crossing your T's, which is very important for the month of April for those born in the life path number of 1. So that was a bit hard to get out. So yeah, I feel like Spirit's saying as well, because I work as a vessel, so I feel like they're saying it might be hard to get over that initial hump, but once you finally get there, things will start to smooth out and you will start to run with things, and you'll be moving very happily along. And the reason why I say that is 1 plus 4 plus 8 is 13. 13 is lucky for some, unlucky for others, but 3 is a number for celebration. So I feel that you've got that 1 there again. So 1's very prominent. You got 1 in the whole, you got 1 which is your life path number, and the 1st of the month in April, and then you got 2 4s, and then when that reduces down, you got 1 4 8, so there's 3 4s, and then when that reduces down again, you got 13, and then when that reduces down again, you got 4. So really, it's a month where you're really pushing hard with business. You're really pushing hard to dot your I's, cross your T's, and get all contractual agreements over that month so that you can move forward. But 1 and 3, new beginnings, celebrations, social events, happiness, joy, friendship. Sometimes it can represent third-party relationships, so perhaps there's a group of people coming together to work on a project, or perhaps even there's clandestine relationships that have happened in the past, and so you're ending one part of your life, so you're starting, because with the 3 1s, that's a new beginning. So you might be just ending a divorce and settling all the paperwork and making sure that everything's done and completed so that you can then move on to something bigger and better. We're now going to turn to the Angel Tarot to give us a bit more detail, and as we do that, I'm just going to say a quick prayer and invocation. By the truth of the Christ-like power within me, in the name of Yeshua of Nazareth, I ask for a reading, a message for our Life Path 1 viewers. So yeah, I feel like you've been at a crossroads, you've been at crossed swords with someone. We don't read these reversed, we don't read Angel Tarot reversed. But I feel like you've been unable or unwilling to make a decision, and I feel like you will have made that decision before the end of the month. Yeah. And you've got the Fool there, which is actually or the Dreamer. stepping through that portal into new life. But I am seeing a little dog here, which is a symbol of faithfulness and innocence as well. So you're taking a leap of faith, you're following your dreams, and unexpected opportunities are coming your way. Also, when I put those numbers side by side, you got 2 and 0. So maybe 20, the number 20 is going to be pretty prominent for you next month. Also, on the second day, because for me, unlike Radleigh Valentine, who reads these cards a particular way, I read them slightly different. For me, swords are quick. Okay, they're the quickest of the sign they're the quickest of the suits in the tarot. So they cut very quick. So this card's 2 of air, so it's to do with the mind. We're looking at mind, we're looking at intellect, but we're looking at 2 days as well. So I feel like something will take place over a 2-day period within the month of April that will be pretty prominent. I feel like you will be looking back at the past quite a bit. You will need to jump on the opportunity quickly, or you may miss the opportunity. And you're reminded not to allow yourself to fall into discontentment or boredom. The angels are saying, open your eyes to the possibilities, because there's a lot that could occur for you. I feel like you have your following already. You are that hermit energy. You've got your following already. And once again, these are 2 major arcana. So it's a big month for you. And you've got a full cycle there too. You've got from 0 to 9. So they're the first 9 life paths. So I feel like you're completing a cycle in your life, going from the beginning to the end. So this could be anything. This could be a career, it could be a marriage, it could be a toxic relationship. It could be just completing one project and moving on to another project if you're a creative worker. It could be you're finishing writing a piece of writing. That's very important for you to be able to do that. It could be absolutely anything, really. You have a lot of freedom in that, as long as you keep stable and grounded with both feet planted firmly on the floor, you will accomplish a lot. You've got to remember that the hermit is at the top of the mountain. Once you get to the top of the mountain, there's only one thing that you can do, and that's go back down again, right? So, but you've got to remember, even though the hermit is a very lonely card, which represents spending time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching and discovery, you will find that the hermit has his own followers. They're just following up the mountain behind him. So you will be reaching the summit. That is important. You're reaching the summit, and we're looking at April, which is the 4th month as well. And I read water as months. So around the 20th of the month, you should find that there will be some situation or event take place where you will be completing a chapter, completing a project, completing a relationship. You will be at the point, at the apex, at the summit of something happening, and you will be feeling quite hurried along, but you are, you've got that priestess energy. You know how things work. You know how manifestation works. You can see with the priestess, the high priestess, that she's got the book open. So this is also very symbolic of making sure that you can demonstrate things in your paperwork, making sure that everything, you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's. You're being very open-handed. If government bodies, which the 4 can sometimes represent, get in contact with you, you just simply show them what's there to be seen, and you're very open-handed and honest and candid with those organizations. Also, once again, you've got a 2 in the major and you've got a 2 in the minor. So we're looking at between the 20th and the 22nd of the month, which will be very major, very positive. But the reason why I'm saying major so far, these are just cards that have fallen out, is 3 of these cards are major arcana cards. So this is a big event, big life event. Now, for some people that are out there that are very famous, or very, very successful people, to them it might not feel like a big event, but to other people around them it might be like, oh, this is pretty big, this is a big project. So just keep that in mind at the level that you're operating at. It will be significant for you, but it will be more significant for the people around you, is what they're telling me. What else is coming up? Can we get confirmation? Oops, that one needs to come out. Yeah, see? So there's a time of letting go. There's a time of saying goodbye. Some of you will be saying goodbye to people. You will be weathering life storms, and you have weathered life storms. That usually comes along with the 3 of air. This person that I'm speaking to, and remember that this reading is general in nature only, so take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind, is a very intellectual person. But also, I'm seeing 2, 3. Yeah? So we're seeing progression. We're seeing forward momentum. Around the 20th of the month, leading into the 22nd, you will be seeing progression. And I believe, even though you're looking back at the past thinking, I can't believe this has happened, why did this happen to me, I had such great expectations, it's led you into a point of self-discovery and spiritual understanding. And you may even find that you will go on a pilgrimage of some sort, or you'll decide at that point, okay, I'm going to get into spiritual study. I'm going to look into the teachings of the great ones, the seers, the hermits, the sages, the mystics, the metaphysicians, the saints, whatever it is for you. Things will be looking up. Yes, it will be the end of a difficult situation. But this person is operating on a completely intellectual level. I feel like you'll be taking a trip. And I've said that before. I feel like you will be making a pilgrimage. It will be a good experience. I feel like spirit will be with you the whole time. I feel like it will open up windows within your heart, mind, and soul. And you will see the secrets behind things. I feel like it's a big decision for you to step forward with that, but it is one born of love. The Lovers card often represents, and this is a Gemini energy, by the way, for me, intimate relationships and carefully weighing your decisions, good health. So for some of you that have actually, and once again, major cards. So I feel like you've got 4 major arcana here and you've got 4 minor. So I feel like overall, the experience that you're moving through in the month of April, or when you receive that news and think, okay, I've got to get things into order here. I need to make sure that things are moving in the direction that you want them to. And you are ready to take the steps forward on your spiritual journey, because I feel like you will be moving into the following month. I'll just look into the following month a little bit. It's a 5, so that's all about change, freedom, expansion, stepping up the ladder. It's also about an element of happiness and laughter and rebellion. And so, challenging the status quo is very important. So you're leading up to a period where you're finishing things off, you're dotting your I's, you're crossing your T's, you're letting go of one thing, but making sure that everything rolls out in the way that it should. And it's coming to an apex on the 20th to the 22nd. And then after that, there's like a, okay, now I can take time for me. Now I can take time to look into spiritual study. and you can savor what's coming after that, because what's coming after that is sweet. So let's have a look into what's coming after that. What's happening after the 22nd of April for our Life Path 1 viewers? Yeah, see, wow. Happiness, true happiness. You know, you've got the sunflowers there. They're the happiest of all flowers. You've got the butterflies, which is transformation. You're standing up there on that podium for everyone to see, and you're happy. You got the stars behind you and the clouds, and that sun, it's coming up over the horizon. It's coming up over the horizon. So even though you've been work, trying to get things done, you come into a time where you got that 1 and the 9, which came up in the last few cards that we were looking at. We were looking at the 0 and the 9, which is the full life. Well, I've lost track of thought. Spirit's like, we're giving it all to you now. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. And that's the feeling that's coming along with it. It's like, by the time you get to the 20th, it's like, it's all coming now. It's coming now, whether you like it or not. And you're like, I'm going to dig my feet in. And yeah, you get rocked. That's the energy that they're putting through me. You get rocked. Someone rocks your world. But it's good, because after that, it's like, yeah, this is fun. This is happiness. This is joy. You know, you're like, this is where I want to be. You know, it's your knight in shining armor, but this one's romantic. This one's sensitive. This one's compassionate. This one's emotionally intelligent. This one's emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. It's a time where you've let go of that, and now it's like, yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah. And there's wedding proposals leading up after that. How long after that? I don't feel like it will be in April or even May. But you will be using this time to balance your emotions after having had so much stuff go on over the last, I feel like it's been months and months and months and months of stuff. It's like, well, I'm just letting go of that now. And you get to that point where it's like, and then, yeah, bang, happens. Things happen. Things shift. And then, yeah, you go to social events. And that's where you'll be meeting the love of your life. So if you've gone through a divorce or a separation, or you've lost someone that you loved through them passing over, you will find that you'll look back and you'll be just like, yeah, okay. I had to go through that. I had to go to the summit. I had to go to the apex of what it feels like, so that when I go back down the other side of the mountain, I can go back down in a very contemplative, very relaxing, very joyful, very reminiscent frame of mind. And I can take all of those hard-earned lessons with me, and I'll be ready to actually, and this can be love of self too. This is love of self too. Using your emotions, making your decisions from an emotional intelligence, which leads on to something even better. And once again, the night as well is 12. So that's a 12-month period. So when we talk about, you will be moving into this happy time, which will last until April next year. Because night for me is the 12th card in the suit. So yeah, and months. So it's a month. So 12 months. And yeah, see, there you are. You've got all of this beautiful, this to me is like a source of nourishment, whether it be different streams of income, different social outlets, but they're all pouring at the bottom. You can't see it because it's not in the picture, but they're all pouring into this beautiful pool, which is your soul. And so you can see that the angel is pouring out this water, which is symbolic of the spirit, and it's flowing down in multiple streams to fill your soul. So it's a very happy times. You're making optimistic, positive, long-term plans, and you're on the right path. So overall, even though the last either 9 months or 9 years, however long it may be for you, has been challenging to the core, and it's built up, and then all of a sudden this project comes your way and you're like, bam, I've got to focus on this, and you've got like a 2-3 day period to jump on an opportunity which will get you to that point, and then once you get there, you're like, okay, now I'm coming down the other side of it, and you're looking at your book, you're looking at your books, you're looking at your work, you're looking at, so much mental stuff going on, as we saw by all of those swords. And 2 and 3 of swords is, can be a loss. And it can also be mental discord and mental health, which can be a major problem as well. And I'm an advocate for mental health because I do live with mental health, and I'm very open about it. And I think people should be open about it. We should be having that discussion, and people should know, whether you're okay or not. And it's okay for people to ask you, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you seeing a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, a GP? Are you taking medication? Medication in metaphysics is completely okay. It is part of life. Being a master is being able to master the decision, yes, at this point in my life, I do need medication. I am going to have my natural therapies and my self-care and talk to someone, have talk therapy, and use my alternative therapies. But yes, being a master is also, yes, for now in my life, and for some people it's their whole life, I am going to use medication because it will get me to where I need to be. So I feel like this is building over a period of time for someone, and it gets to that point where they're like, yeah. But the help comes. The help comes. And then after that, there's 12 months of happiness. So let me just do a blessing over you using the Zibu cards. By the truth of the Christ-like power within me, in the name of Yeshua of Nazareth, I ask for a few cards for our Life Path 1 viewer. There's willingness. So once again, you can draw this symbol on a piece of paper, or if you connect with it profoundly, you might want to put it as a tattoo. I once learnt a prayer on a psych ward given to me by a patient. God, if you are willing, I am willing to receive. And the affirmation on this card is, I step forward with certainty and take action on the loving guidance I receive. So you can draw that symbol, willingness, willingness, willingness. So when you draw the symbol, make sure you've got your fingers and your thumb together. I'll just show you something. When you put your hands together like this, close one thumb over the other to make fists. Now, if your left thumb is on top, that means that your left hand is your power hand. If your right thumb is on top, that means your right hand is your power hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to, using your power hand, keeping your fingers together, looking at your reflection in the mirror, or just sitting in meditation with your legs uncrossed, taking a deep breath in. You're going to draw the symbol and say the word 3 times. Willingness, willingness, willingness. Just sit with that. I step forward with certainty and take action on the loving guidance I receive. The next one, serenity. So if you are willing, I am willing to be serene. So the affirmation for this one is, I quiet my mind and listen within to experience serenity. Once again, power hand up. Serenity, serenity, serenity. So you draw the symbol and you say the key word 3 times. I quiet my mind and listen within to experience serenity. And the next one is joy. There's the symbol. So you draw it and say it 3 times, deep breath in. Joy, joy, joy. I savor the richness and depth of life as I share joy from my heart. So there are 3 symbols that you can take with you, my life path ones, into April. Be willing to receive joy and step into serenity, or be willing to be serene and allow joy to come in. Last card. These are from the King James Bible. You can get them on Etsy. Same as the Zibu affirmation cards. You can get them on Etsy. I would suggest that when you go onto Etsy to get the Zibu cards, you get the yellow ones. I ordered the blue ones as well, and they had the other words in other languages, and I found that they weren't accurate, so I actually got rid of them straight away. Whereas I prefer these ones because they're written in English, and joy in English means joy. So no need for the other language, because they were inaccurate, the other ones. So when you do go onto Etsy to have a look, make sure that they're the yellow ones and the back looks like that. Okay, they're about $150 Australian, but they're beautiful. Some mornings I will just sit there. There's 88 symbols in the deck. Some mornings I'll just sit there and draw out each symbol, which takes a bit of time getting to know them all and remember them all. Some of them I remember off by heart. Others I need reminding. But if you do that as a daily practice, that energy will build up. So yes, in the last 2 minutes we've got here in this half-hour reading, I pray for you. I pray protection over you. I pray healing. I pray that you are already healed, whole, and complete on all 4 levels, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And if you are willing, you may receive serenity and step into joy. And the last card is Matthew chapter 9, verse 22. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort, thy faith has made you whole. I'm Reverend Stargazer from the International Metaphysical Ministry on the Mid-North Coast. Thank you, and I'll see you next month.